Hello, this is Luis Riveros, and this time we are going to talk a little bit about the history of the universe, viewed from a cyclical view of time. That will be the perspective, and under this perspective, you will be able to see that all the questions that we have asked before about the origin of the universe, what am I doing here, what is the purpose of all this, will be explained in a different view. I will try to make 5-minute videos of in reference to this theme. So please bear with me in these 4 or 5 minutes that I will talk about the first topic, which is how everything started. Basically, it was always there. As we know, there is a law, which is the law of conservation of matter and energy, that clearly states that matter cannot be created, neither destroyed, it can only be transformed. If we really see the significance of this, we can see that matter cannot be created. So there it goes out of sight. We have creationism and also the Big Bang theory. Even though some people are really into looking for, well, everything has to be created somehow, there has to be a beginning. I'm just emphasizing that existence is in itself what has always existed. There is no creation whatsoever. Things have always existed. What there is what we call change. And change is intimately related with time. And those concepts we will explore a little bit more in the next videos. So, as everything has already existed, and it just changes through time, then we can see that the only model of time that actually takes this existence into consideration is the cyclical view of time, because there is no beginning, and because there is no beginning, there is no an end either. Things just change. So this is the first topic that I will specify, and in relation with that law in physics, which is also known as the first law of thermodynamics, we can see that matter in actuality do changes. We can see that this body is changing through time, and even though it's changing through time, I cannot really specify who is the person that is talking. In other words, this same person was a baby before, and I had a whole bunch of different thoughts that are quite different than the ones that I have today. That's what we call learning. I learn through time. And that learning comes about due to different forces. Like I mentioned before, I didn't pick my parents. I didn't pick the language that is my maternal language. I didn't pick none of those aspects, but yet they play a great influence in my life right now. Some of those gifts, let's call it gift that I possess, that is existence possess, is really something that I cannot develop. It's something that I was born with, and that is something that I hope that we can see. In other words, if I have a keen intellect, Einstein-like, there is nothing I can do to develop that. It's just a gift. If Mozart was able to compose this super special music when he was, maybe a 3 or 4 year old, then that's a gift. It's something that he had with him, and that throws the concept of free will into the spectrum of something to be really studied, to be really pondered about. Because then we ask the question, how is it possible for him to have those gifts and know me? And that is a very good question. And once we discover through cyclical time that things are predestined and there is a cause and effect behind it, then perhaps we can see a logical solution that before we didn't have. But I will go into these topics in later videos. For right now, what is important to see is that time has always existed, matter has always existed, and existence is what it was always there. If we try to find the first, then we don't understand the meaning of eternity.